Good morning, day 90 of hiking the Appalachian Trail in 100 days. Got started a little bit later than normal, but it was just like 10 or 15 minutes later. I got started around 7:10 and I've been hiking just over an hour now. Should be definitely an easier day than yesterday. Less than 21 miles, and should be pretty much staying up between 5,000 and 6,000 feet a lot of the day. I will be crossing Newfound Gap sometime in the afternoon, which is pretty much the only major road, I guess, that goes through the Smokies and crosses the AT. So I think that road is a little bit lower, but it's still close to 5,000 feet. So shouldn't be too bad today. And the sun's been out. The sky looks rather clear, so hopefully we have a good day yet again. And some exciting news that I received recently is that my buddy Bogballs actually finished the AT last night. He sent me a picture at like 11:40 at night, so I'm guessing he was hiking till 10 or 11 at night, which knowing him does not surprise me. But that was September 1st yesterday. Today's the 2nd, so he probably just crashed. I think there's a shelter pretty much right at the southern terminus at Springer Mountain, so he probably just crashed there. And then this morning he's got to hike the 8 or 9 miles of the approach trail down to Amicalola Falls State Park. So today's the 2nd, and he's got to be back reporting for duty or whatever on the 5th somewhere in Texas. I think maybe he's from San Antonio. So yeah, he pretty much just made it in the nick of time, because it'll probably take him a day or two to get back there. So congrats to Bogballs, and best of luck in the future. Should be some views here, but it's just totally white out to the side, so a little unfortunate. All right, finally got somewhat of a view here, but this mountain is kind of blocking other mountains. Still a little hazy, and you can see some clouds down there in the distance, kind of like a sea of clouds with the mountains poking out, so that's pretty neat. But doing good this morning, a little bit before 9:30, so probably going to be stopping sometime around noon at a shelter for the break, so got a ways to go to that, and going to be climbing Laurel Top and maybe get some views up there. Here at Charlie's Bunyan, mostly clouded in, but they seem to have been blowing around some. Definitely has opened up a little bit in the last minute or two, so maybe sun will shine through and blow out the clouds some more. Actually a pretty nice view here through the trees, so pretty happy to finally be getting a nice view today, and have just a little bit more, probably about a half mile, maybe a little more, to reach Newfound Gap, where I'll cross the road there, and then I'll have a climb up like 5 or so more miles for the rest of the day. Oh wow, just crossed Newfound Gap here, and super surprised how many cars are here in this big parking lot. But I guess it makes sense, because I've seen a lot of people on the trail the last 4 miles since Charlie's Bunyan, because that's pretty popular place, I guess, for people to go, and it's Labor Day today, so lots of people out. Definitely saw a lot of college-aged people. I think Clemson, University of Tennessee, probably some other schools I'm not thinking of are within a few hours drive, so yeah, lots of people out today, but hopefully there won't be too many people at the shelter tonight, which I should be at in about 5 miles. So apparently there are wild hogs in the park, and they are non-native but have been here since the 1950s. So they have a fence around this section I'm in because it contains some unique plants and trees apparently. I think some beech trees specifically is what the sign said. And so the fence is there to keep the hogs out and protect the unique trees in this area. So thought that was interesting, and I'll take a little video or picture of the gate. Oh, it looks like it's coming up right here on the other side, which is kind of interesting because it looks like, you know, any animal could walk right over, but I think it's kind of like a cattle gate type thing, or whatever those are called, so that the animals' hooves will just fall through and they will be not able to walk across that. So made it to the Mount Collins shelter, and it's just before 3 o'clock, so made really good time, and I have lots of time to chill. So I just figured I'd show kind of what the shelters in the Smokies look like. They have these, typically have these like benches with a kind of table there, and then a big open area, and just a top and bottom kind of bunk. And usually there's a fireplace as well, which is pretty cool. And I like that they have this clearish roofing material over part of the roof so that it lets some light in, because sometimes the shelters are pretty dark even during the day. So it looks like a solid shelter. Hopefully there won't be tons of people here tonight. There's a privy down there, and there should be bare hanging cables somewhere around here, and there's a water source nearby. So it's the next morning, and didn't record a recap video last night, but I stayed at the Mount Collins shelter, like I said, which is at mile 1994.3, so only 20.6 miles yesterday, but that's all right. In terms of history, from 1994, I couldn't think of anything relevant to most of the world, but in my life, something very relevant is 1994 is the year my parents got married, which actually means that this year they'll be celebrating their 30th anniversary, and that'll be coming up towards the end of October, so congrats to them. And was again a little bit disappointed with the views, and just clouds and fog yesterday, but not the end of the world. There were some other people at the shelter. One lady who did most of the trail last year southbound, but had to get off in Damascus due to injury. Then now she's finishing up this year. And then another guy who I met in Vermont, and I definitely didn't recognize him, but he recognized me instantly, which is cool. He seemed really good with people's names, but his name was Mountain Toad, and he did Damascus north to Katahdin, starting sometime in March, and then now he's going Springer north to Damascus. So kind of a flip-flop, but just kind of like a split up hike. Not really a flip because he's still going north the whole way, but we talked a little bit and talked about like a bunch of different people, like, oh, have you seen this person? Have you seen this person? And he was pretty cool. So good evening. I did, like I said, stay in the shelter. There were some fairly decent tent spots, but I don't know, you're supposed to stay in the shelter, so that's what I did. And going up over Klingman's Dome tomorrow, which is really today. So that should be exciting, as it's the highest point on the Appalachian Trail.